developers had to place an extra processing chip into the game's cartridge. This chip also allowed for animated tiles and enough RAM for diagonal scrolling. The Wizard. This product placement led people to refer to The Wizard as a 90-minute commercial for the game.
Some secrets, tips, and tricks for one of my favorite games, Super Mario Bros. 3. We'll be looking at some well-known secrets as well as some that you may have never seen before. On the white block in the middle. After a few seconds, you'll pass through like so. Run to the end of the level and will be teleported to a Toad House. One toot on this whistle will send you to a faraway land. That's right, with these whistles we can skip entire worlds. In World 1 Fortress, we'll find our second whistle. Use the raccoon suit to fly straight up. We'll go across the top level. Once we hit a wall, we'll hit up, and it will teleport us to this room with the second whistle. Nice and easy. The third whistle is in World 2. The top part of the map, use your hammer on the rock. We get the third whistle here. Once you have your first two whistles, you can actually warp straight to World 8. Use the first whistle on World 1. Once we appear on the Welcome to Warp Zone screen, all we got to do is use our second whistle. Once you use the second whistle, it'll teleport us straight down to World 8. Enter the pipe, and there you go. And then defeat Boom Boom and finish the level. You'll be teleported to the Boom Boom fight. You can actually skip most of the level pretty easily.
So there are several reasons that people will always point to Super Mario Bros. 3 as one of the greatest all-time classics in video. Things like how it told you sort of through the graphics, through the way that they had these world maps, that it was a story that was constantly moving forward.
It's a game that my family, who doesn't play a lot of games, can play with me and still have a lot of fun. To also gamers who have been playing games for all their lives, and we can join and just have a blast.
It was the first game I ever played in which you could just explore a level by running around, finding secrets, doing stuff like that, but then you could also just take to the skies, and the levels were so much bigger than you thought they were.
You see exactly what you need to do, and you can choose to go one route or another depending on how challenging you want to make it for yourself.
It seems like such a simple idea, but it's so fun. Just see something that's unique and familiar in a little bit different way. All the new suits, like the hammer suit, lets you dress up like enemies.
It's like there was really, really simply communicated to you that you were on this grand quest to save all of these kingdoms from the Koopalings.
They added new control features here, like the ability to slide down hills. A simple action like that, there's no conflict, there's no problem you're trying to solve, you're just sliding down a hill, and too few games do that. Too few games elicit joy just by you controlling your character.
Mario 3 took those secrets and really, really cranked it up. It was the first game that I can remember playing as a kid where I just didn't know what to expect, and I didn't know what was going to be around the next corner. You could find warp whistles that would let you skip through different levels of the game, and if you managed to find 2 warp whistles, you could skip directly to the final world, and that felt really special. We'd never really seen anything like that in a video game before.
There's just so much greatness to it, and just so much that you discover the more you play it, that you didn't discover it when you were first, when I was a kid at least, or when you're a teenager, and even as an adult, you're finding all these little quirks.
I was 12 years old when Super Mario Bros. 3 came out. It blew my mind then, and it still blows my mind today, 25 years later. And that's why Super Mario Bros. 3 is so special.
Video game of all time, and that is Super Mario Bros. 3.
I don't know if you would find a lot of people out there disagreeing with you.
Super Mario Bros. 3 came out of seeming for me nowhere.
Yes.
In terms of just the sheer size of what you can do. Your ability to make a level vertical was the next step, and it took tech on the cartridge to make that possible. That Nintendo games scrolled left or right, or they scrolled up or down, but just by nature of flying diagonally, they had to add hardware to the system.
Well, I want to talk about the Wizard for a quick second, as it pertains to the Wizard. 100% worked on me. It was a 90-minute infomercial for Super Mario Bros. 3. And as of just a few years ago, if you adjust for inflation, Super Mario Bros. 3 is the highest grossing non-bundled video game ever, which MMC3.
Yeah, that chip not only allowed to have diagonal scrolling in the game.
Now, Sam, you've got a fun fact down here that actually even I did not know. The names of the Koopa Kids.
Yeah, every single one is named after a musician. So you have Iggy for Iggy Pop, you have Windy for Windy O from the Plasmatics, You have Ludwig von Koopa, Roy Koopa is Roy Orbison.
That's amazing.
That's awesome. I did not know that.
Great to play. Like, it just feels you feel like you're flying.